In Yangon, living on the wrong side of the tracks means living on the wrong side of the river. It is here that rural migrants are forced to settle while they search for jobs in the city. Some cross the river at the break of dawn, knowing that they will return with some money in their hands. But for most, those with no regular source of income, mornings are just the start of another day of struggle. Every day, Lone Lone comes to the market to buy food for her family. Every cent counts. The 20-year-old is shopping for her husband, 2 infant children, and 3 members of her extended family. But with just $2.20 to spend, she can't afford to buy much. Lone Lone earns $4.50 a day in a part-time job cooking and cleaning for middle-class families in the city. This makes Lone Lone the family breadwinner, with her husband working just 2 days a week as a plumber. The family have been struggling ever since Lone Lone gave birth to their twins, Suponchit and Winchit, last year. With hospital bills of $150, they had to take out a loan from a local moneylender, who charges a steep 20% monthly interest. Over the course of 18 months, they managed to pay back almost all of that money, but then the monsoon season struck. Every day as she makes her way to the moneylender's house, Lone Lone carries with her more than half the family's earnings. It's a heavy burden. The moneylender is a friend of the family and a young mother herself, but all feelings of empathy were forgotten when deciding the terms of the loan. With such high interest rates, how long do you think it's going to take for you to pay back these loans? Lone Lone is not the only one crippled by high interest rates. In neighbourhoods like this, 85% of households have borrowed money. The loans usually rescue the borrower from an immediate financial emergency, but with monthly interest rates as high as 50%, they come at a crushing cost. Mornings for 13-year-old Ung Thet Peng and his 10-year-old brother, San Lin Ung, start with breakfast and a play fight. In the past, they would head off to play football with their friends. Now, the only game that the 2 boys can play involves weaving in between the traffic, desperately searching the sides of the road for plastic bottles and tin cans. It's a relentless task, particularly in the summer months when temperatures can soar to 40 degrees Celsius and shade is difficult to find. But with a family of 6 to feed, the boys have little choice. The boy's mother first took out a loan of just $3.50 with 20% monthly interest. 8 months later, she owes $60. With their debts spiralling out of control, their mother decided to take her sons out of school and put them to work as rubbish collectors. Ung Thet Peng and San Lin Ung may argue, but their loyalty to their family is unwavering. After 3 hours, the boys arrive at the recycling centre with 2 bags full of cans and bottles. They earn the equivalent of 60 cents for their work. It's not enough to pay off their mother's daily interest payment, so they will have to return to the streets again in the afternoon. They are not the only children who have to work here to survive. The government estimates that there are 1.3 million child labourers in Myanmar, one of the worst rates of underage employment in the world. Poverty has always been the driving force behind this phenomenon, but could the dependence of Myanmar's poor on these high-interest loans be making it even worse?
We've managed to track down a broker that specialises in recruiting children into jobs as waiters, cleaners and housemaids. Now, the minimum working age in Myanmar is 14, but we understand that this lady recruits children far younger than that.
She may live in a squatter camp, but Daw Lewin earns a respectable $400 per month as a broker, recruiting children for jobs in towns and cities across the country. She says that almost all of her clients come from families crippled by debt.
What are the living and working conditions like for these children?
9,000 ထိပဲရတယ်ပိုမရဘူးအရင်ကဆိုရင်မလုတ်တက်ဘူးဆိုရင် 5,000 ပေးတယ်လုတ်တက်ပြီဆိုရင် 6,000 ပဲပေးတယ်
Some people would say that taking children below the legal working age and placing them in jobs in different towns and cities is human trafficking. Would you agree with that?
အဲ့ဒါကိုလူရောင်းစားတယ်လို့မယူဆဘူးဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲတစ်ဖက်နိုင်ငံကိုလည်းပို့တာမဟုတ်ဘူးအကျိုးတော်ဆောင်ပေါ့ဟိုပေါ့မလုံနိုင်တဲ့လူကိုကူညီတဲ့သဘော
The irony is that Dorlwin believes she is helping the families around her. But even after she sends their underage and underpaid children off to work, the burden of debt remains. And it's the community's moneylenders who gain the most. So who are these shrewd individuals, profiting from their friends and neighbours? Dorte is the village seamstress, but she doesn't spend much time behind the sewing machine. With no shortage of people looking for some quick cash, money lending takes up more and more of Dorte's time. She has around 20 clients who pay monthly interest rates of either 20 or 30%. Technically, this makes her work illegal. Individual moneylenders cannot charge more than 18% per annum, and they require an official license. But the antiquated law is rarely policed, and Dorte says other moneylenders get away with charging a lot more.
Would you say that your money lending operation is more of a business or a service? We've met families that have been so crippled by their interest payments that they struggle to feed their children. Do you think that it can still be classified as a service when these are the consequences? In fact, according to Dorte, the risks fall solely upon the moneylenders, with clients regularly disappearing in the middle of the night without paying off their debts.
yo Batamaro, Lachi and Melon baby, or Nidan Poman, wine, Poman Lala Bede. Pay wine and knowledge by Yemlo, Yamlo, so we are. I don't know, maybe after that Lachi, Lachi, but Manila Jow, taking a look at you. Ain't that long call at the young woman again. So ain't by Mahodo. Really be at no Biamalaro.
It is rare here for moneylenders to get violent when their clients refuse to pay. But social shaming is a common tactic, and one that is often employed by Dorte as she patrols the neighbourhood.
I don't know, Simon Daniels, President the car down while I don't know. Simon Daniels or the car be like Pay like Manani Bimala. I could be Malani Bimala. When you, eh? You did that, I go on with you. Tarame.
But for Dorte, the benefits outweigh the risks. And with interest rates of up to 30%, she has decided that money lending makes good business sense.
You know, I show me that you know, Piami Yawa. Now I'm your poor general. You know, Aluminium got them show me area. A Yawa, you know. I could she shall be a very sharp over general.
And with a steady stream of clients, that future and her profits are looking rosy.
Spending time with Dorte has shown that the ethics of money lending are not black and white. The loan sharks are profiting from the vulnerability of their neighbours, but they're such a vital component of the local economy that monthly interest rates of 20 to 30% are considered normal.
The problem is that cash is still king in Myanmar, with less than 20% of the population owning bank accounts. However, there is one place where neither the banks nor money lenders operate.
I've come to this suburb of Yangon to meet a group of women that have managed to escape the clutches of loan sharks through a collective savings scheme. The results have been life-changing.
For the last 9 years, these 34 women have been meeting every week to invest their money in a group savings account. They deposit $2.50 into this green box, and after 3 months of weekly investment, they are eligible for a loan. For the system to work, everything must be fair and accountable, so the women have set up strict rules, which they must all adhere to. They do pay monthly interest, but just 2%, and at the end of the year, that money is shared among the group. Since the initiative began, they have used the profits from their savings account to buy a plot of land, build themselves new housing, and create a community of entrepreneurs who are financially self-sufficient. Before joining the collective, Myanmar could barely afford her rent.
Hello, Kaka. Maluta Chia de Kaka, Emu, Inlaza Mapia, Inlaza, Chalaza Piami. Talao, Tongdao, Chalaza, and Nizona Chalaza, Chalaza Miao, the Nip, Bono, Selaza. Talao, Tongdao Swing, Selasu, Tongding Bia. Tongding people do it, two Selaza, Tongding Bidu, Kuma Mishu. Palumishia Lesoro, who are Nizin of the local, Kutamisa Way, Kaliri, Down Lagaye, Kaliri Sabu Tapu to an Ajare to Jamulu, Inlaza people Mishu.
She is one of the few artisans who can make traditional percussion mallets in Yangon. Yet before, she could only produce around 50 a week.
Tumia, my Makoma, a Yemishi de Dwet. Tumiachu, Tachilo Yare, Tachilo Yare, Tachilo Yare, Bono, Tachilo Yare, Tabame Atobiares or Chawio, Machio, Go Lotenara Mabe, Machio, Machibene, Goma, Shida Haline, Tito, Gogoloke, Matimini Chia has another Chile, Chibilo like it, look at that chain, Porto and Yakan, and Elite.
With help from the group, Myanmar was able to buy the additional materials that she needed in order to meet the demand from her clients. She now produces anything from 100 to 1,000 pieces a week.
တကယ်လို့ပေါ့နော်ဒီဖွဲ့စည်းတာမရှိခဲ့ဘူးမတွေ့ခဲ့ဘူးဒီဖွဲ့စည်းနဲ့မတွေ့ခဲ့ဘူးဆိုရင်ကျွန်မအပြင်မှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘယ်လိုလဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်မလို့ရင်သူများရှိမှတော့ချိမယ်ပြီးရင်သူတို့ပြန်ဆက်ရမယ်မဆက်နိုင်ဘူးဆိုရင်ကျွန်မမှာအတိုးတွေနဲ့နောက်ထပ်တစ်ခါထပ်ပြီးတော့တက်သွားမယ်အဲ့ဒီဟာတွေကိုလည်းကျွန်မဒဏ်ခံရမှာဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီဒဏ်တွေကိုအမြဲတမ်းခံစားနေရပြီးတော့ဒီလိုမျိုးလဲတိုးတက်မှုဆိုတာလုပ်ငန်းမှာလည်းတိုးတက်မှာမဟုတ်မိသားစုမှာလည်းတိုးတက်မှာကိုယ့်ရဲ့စိတ်ဖိစီးမှုတွေလည်းအရန်ဖိစီးမှုများမယ်အဲ့ဒီတော့ကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအဖွဲ့ကိုပဲကျွန်တော်တို့အမြဲတမ်းအားကိုးတယ်
The impact of this group is quite localised, yet the issue of money lenders is quite widespread. Do you think the model could be replicated more broadly to help other families in Yangon?
လူကတော့အမျိုးမျိုးရှိတယ်လေလူကမျိုးမျိုးရှိတယ်လူရဲ့စိတ်ဆိုတာမျိုးမျိုးရှိတယ်ဒီလိုမျိုးဒီဖွဲ့စည်းကိုတွေ့တဲ့လူကတကယ်စိတ်တူကိုယ်တူလာစုကြတဲ့လူတွေမှဖြစ်တာတချို့လူတွေကအဲ့လိုစိတ်တူကိုယ်တူမရှိကြသူများရှေ့ကယူမယ်မဆက်ဘူးဒါမျိုးလူတွေနဲ့ဆိုရင်ဒီဖွဲ့ထဲမှာရောက်လာရင်အဆင်မပြေဘူးအဲ့ဒီတော့စပြီးလက်ခံတဲ့ခါမှာလဲမတို့ငွေစုငွေချိုးစလုပ်တဲ့ခါမှာလက်ခံတဲ့ခါမှာလဲကိုယ်နဲ့စိတ်တူကိုယ်တူရှိရမယ်ဆိုတဲ့စကန်ချက်ကိုမတို့သတ်မှတ်ထားပြီးသား
That unity has paid off. With the sound of sewing machines drifting from almost every house, you can literally hear the entrepreneurial energy created by these low-interest loans. And with the women taking care of family finances, their husbands have plenty of time for a game of Burmese billiards.
အဲ့လိုလုပ်ချင်းဒီလိုမျိုးလုပ်မယ်တစ်ဖွဲ့တစ်နေရာပေါ့ဒီတစ်နေရာမှာထားလုပ်မယ်တခြားတစ်မျိုးတွေမှာဒါမျိုးလုပ်မယ်တခြားတစ်မျိုးတွေမှာသွားလုပ်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီလိုမျိုးငွေတိုးချိစားတဲ့လူတွေပပျောက်သွားမယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ထင်တယ်
But until then, Yangon's urban poor will continue to be trapped by their predatory lending practices, reliant on this quick, easy but expensive form of credit. I'm hoping, however, that Lone Lone and her family won't be among them. It's been a week since I met the young mother of two. By now, she should have finished paying back this month's interest.
So how have you been since we last saw you? Have you got any further towards paying off your interest rates?
အတူကတော့ဆက်ကတော့ဒါပေမဲ့ရက်ကတော့မမှန်ဘူးအဲ့တော့ဒီမှာစားမှုလည်းရှိတယ်ခလေးတွေနေကင်းတစ်ခါညလည်းထားခဲ့ခါညလည်းပတ်စံမထားခဲ့မလောက်တဲ့အတွက်တမိကြတော့ကြတော့ပေးမှုက20နှစ်က9000ပဲပေးလိုက်တယ်4000ကျန်သေးတယ်9000ပေးလိုက်အရင်ကကြတော့3သိန်းခွဲကျန်သေးတယ်အတူကကြတော့လာဒီနောက်လာတာဖြစ်ပေါင်းသွားနောက်တိုးပါနောက်လာကြ20နှစ်ကြတော့အကုန်ပုံချပြီ
It wasn't the news I was hoping for. Lone Lone and her family have fallen even deeper into debt.
ဒီတိုးတွေလုံးဝတော့မဆန်းတာဒါပေမဲ့အခုကလောလောဆယ်တော့လုံးဝမပေးနိုင်လို့ထင်တယ်။ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့ဒီအကျွေးတွေနဲ့လုံးဝနှောင်ပိတ်နေဒီအကျွေးတွေဆန်းနိုင်မတင်နေတော့ကိုကတော့ကောင်းစားမယ်လို့တော့ထင်တယ်။အခုအလုပ်သွားတာလေဒီအကျွေးတွေနဲ့ပြန်လာဘာမှမပါအလုပ်ထရယူလာတာပဲဟိုဖြစ်တာပါ။တရားလို့ရှိဟိုကပြီးတရားပြီးခါညိုင်းမနဲ့လမ်းစိမရှိခလေးတွေစားမှုမရှိသူများချက်ချီးပြီးထားခဲ့
So now, rather than focusing on the one loan repayment, the family have had to borrow money from multiple lenders. It is a complicated web of debt that's even harder for Lone Lone to escape, especially if the family endures another financial emergency in the coming months. But this is the reality for anyone struggling on a low income in Myanmar. Because when illegal money lenders rule the streets, few can avoid the crippling cycle of debt.